Second-year skipper Charlie Wade is riding the Warrior volleyball ship as Hawaii defeated Division III Springfield in the opening night of the Outrigger tournament. The success of Warrior Stephen Hunt opened up opportunities for Hawaii freshmen Johan Timmer and J.P. Marks. Top-notch NCAA men's volleyball continues tonight in a match between the Lewis Flyers and the Hawaii Warriors. Starting lineups right there along the top of your screen. Brought to you by Hawaiian Tel Federal Credit Union as we are set to go, wasting no time at all to serve things up. Ian Carbonell and the first swing of the night on the near side. Johan Timmer picking up where he left off last night. Aloha, Chris McLaughlin. Happy Aloha Friday to you, my friend.
Same to you, Howard, and what a start. Sean Carney called it right when he thought the bandana award tonight might go to a guy like Timmer if he can show some more emotion.
In the middle, and the big, tall Aaron Flick. He's a 6'8" middle blocker out of North Ridgeville, Ohio. This school in Romeoville, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. And you say you've been there. It's a beautiful little university, small enrollment, only about 6,500 undergrads.
And Mr. Carney was right. There's the gym, and there's the gym, and there's the gym. Oh, and there's a United Airlines plane sitting out there somewhere where they can practice flying. It's pretty cool, very interesting community. And they do love their volleyball there. Aaron Flick, who just got that last kill, 4 times he's been the captain of this team. How about that?
Jeff Powell into the net first service error of the night. Charlie Wade talking about the fact that Dan Friend, because he's been there now for 8 years, and he's been able to kind of build that pipeline where a lot of players come in and they tend to redshirt early, and then every year just seems to be able to reload, and a lot of veterans and a lot of returners.
You're right, he's got a lot of redshirts on his team.
And right back, the serve out. They're 20-11 record. Talking about the Flyers, 20-11 overall, 7-5 in their conference. And 6 returning players, starters, in fact, including the Libero. And newcomers, not that many. Of course, Hawaii, we mentioned last night, 6 players playing for the first time in the collegiate level. And that one jammed right at the Hawaii defenders, who are signaling something. I think they were asking for a net violation. Charlie Wade coming in.
Let's see where it goes off. Yeah, it was definitely off Biscaro and then off the antenna. It's the right call.
And so point to the Flyers. They lead it 3-2 early. Serving is Aaron Flick, averaging 1.7 kills per game, 188 in his career. Nick West, big swing, blocked right back at him. Hunt with the easy little cross net shot, and he gets it down in front of a diving Aaron Flick for the kill.
What a smart shot by Hunt. He really had nowhere to go. Set was way wide, 2 blockers up, a little beach roll shot. Might have learned that down at Queens Beach, where a lot of the players go and play on weekends.
Hunt with 16 kills last night for Hawaii. Marks with a dozen, and a good serve and a service ace as Hunt drills it right off of the chest of Jay Petty.
Hunt struggled with his serve on night number 1 against San Diego last week, so he went to the jump float on night number 2. He's back to the regular jump serve here on night number 3 and picks up his second service ace of the season.
Hawaii up 4-3. Second lead of the game for Hawaii. They led it 1-0, and a big swing by West. And a double hit on the part of the Flyers. Point Hawaii.
Nick West really loading up on that block there. He really got into it and read the set right, read the attack correctly. Last night he struggled against the Springfield attacker, Falcone.
Nick West, the 6'8" middle out of Southern California, out of Orange, a transfer out of UC Irvine. Good serve again by Hunt. Blocked at the net by Biscaro, but out. Point Flyers.
Boy, Hunt tattooed that last serve as well, just ripped it. You know, the coaches often will radar gun these guys as far as what their velocity of their serve is, and if you're hitting over 55, you're hitting pretty good serve. That serve there had to be well over 60, 65. So it's a tough serve to pass.
And the southpaw effort by one of my favorite names. It's early in the season, but this is an all-namer. B.J. Bulldog. The last name spelled B-O-L-D-O-G. B.J. Bulldog, but he hits
You know
a
what his
long.
nickname is? Bulldog.
How could it not be?
How could it not be?
6'4" Hawaii on top.
Dan Friend, the coach, really likes him as a setter. Says he sets a good offense. He's exciting to watch.
Back set there and managing to put it down.
That's what's called a red set to the backside. It's low, it's fast. Tough to get two blockers out there. See, Nick West got caught outside. He got caught way on the left side attacker and missed that right side attack completely.
And Jay Petty with 3 kills early for the Flyers. Back to serve. Good pass, and Lofi didn't get along on it. Overpass. Lofi again not getting his best swing on that ball. And then that one hit just long. Point Hawaii.
Lofi got lucky there. I think that Lofi and West need to hit a few more oversets, overpasses, overdigs, where they've got to make it a real split-second decision on whether or not they should pass the ball up or whether or not they should attack the overpass.
Tri-captain Biscaro. Good serve on his part. Then swinging and hitting into the net is Matt Gallick. Averages better than 2 kills per game at that time. Right into the net. Point Hawaii.
Great story on Gallick. He was a walk-on as a freshman and worked his way into a scholarship now as the last couple of years. All conference 2 times as a walk-on. Great story.
Biscaro again with the high toss. Good serve. And again sent to the lefty. Carboner, right back. Johan Timmer kind of fists it over and then tipped over backwards by Powell. BJ Marks, and Marks with the hammer. And a 3-point run by Hawaii as they take their biggest advantage here in the first game, 9-5.
Hawaii's going to be a good team this year. They've got to do things like this, cover their hitters. Look at Nick Castello right there at the net, gets low, pops it up, and Hawaii gets another attack.
Another good serve by Biscaro. Lofi gets a piece of it at the net, setting it up on the far side. Marks again, this time blocked. Johan Timmer, and that one's off the antenna.
Pretty good set that time by Biscaro. Nice pass by Castello. And Timber just tried to get a little bit too cute, tried to hit that right down the line, and there wasn't that much room. He hits it so hard. I think he just had to hit high hands all the time and just punish those paws.
Gallick with the serve. Big pass, and now on the near side, Marks. Blocked at the net, but just out. Lofi and Johan Timmer went up. I think it was Lofi that got the block, but just turned it a little bit too far outside. It was out by just about an inch or two.
It's Carbonier that time, the opposite, the lefty opposite, who was freshman of the year a couple of years ago in the MIVA.
Marks again, trying to hit it over the block. Hunt out of the back row. And
There's a
Hunt.
little, is that exciting to watch or what? That's that big set out of the back row, or back row quick they call it. Ball set low up to about the 5-foot line. And Hunt gets an early start on it. It's a timing set. And he's getting better and better timing with Biscaro.
Bick could have stood for a back row crush that time. And they gave him the point. And hang on, that ball was off Nick Castello and then off the net. And the up referee blew the whistle and signaled the point, but the point wasn't over. That ball was still alive.
They're going to play this over. He called it quick whistle.
Yeah. Well, it happens. Watch it. You're going to see Nick Castello get a piece of it. Now into the
right
net.
into the net, and the referee thought the play was over.
Right.
Because he thought that ball was going to hit the net and drop straight down. Instead, it dropped and another player played it.
And again, the educated fans here in Hawaii, they're going to let you know. They're going to let the official know, and everybody know. And this time, The serve.
You know, I
by
like
Marks.
when officials talk to their linesmen and ask them for their opinion on how a play developed. And it's okay to retract your call and make a different one. A lot of referees around the country sometimes will just stick to their guns and not be, they just don't want to be wrong.
Stephen Hunt. And an opportunity for the Flyers. And that thing's going to be way long. In fact, it's interesting. One of the University of Hawaii basketball officials, whom I saw yesterday out of the Waialae at the Sony Open, came up to me and said, hey, are the officials in volleyball allowed to come on over and look at the videotape? And I said, I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either. I do not think it's allowed.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it is because I've never
One of
seen
the
it.
reasons is not all college games are televised. So it'd be unfair for the teams that do not have television at their home gym.
11-8, Hawaii up. And back to serve is the senior out of Long Beach, Lofi. Oh, block at the net by Timmer, but saved nicely by the Flyers. They go back again and blocked again by Hawaii. And back-to-back roofs against Jeff Powell. The second one proved to be a winner.
Boy, Timmer had a great first block. He's blocked solo. He took a one hop, then a second hop and got it. And then Stephen Hunt decides he's going to get in on the block party, and he drops in for a three-man block. Well played by Hawaii.
Lofi floats it over the net, and then a quick dump shot by BJ Bulldog. So the Bulldog pours the Flyers back within 3, 12-9. Here in the first set of the night, by the way, in the first match today, it was UCLA in 3 straight over the Pride of Springfield. Hawaii, of course, beating Springfield. There's those scores right there. It wasn't exactly a cakewalk, 25-20, 21-22. Hawaii also a straight set winner last night over Springfield. And Jeff Powell, who got blocked twice in a row moments ago on serve, and Nick West didn't get a real big piece of that ball, but got enough to put it down. Point Hawaii.
That pass was really close to the net. Sam Biscaro at 6'4" goes up and steals this ball from coming over. Lewis blockers go up with him. He allows him to give a one-on-one for Nick West, and West puts it down. It wasn't an emphatic put down, but a kill nonetheless.
I think Nick West already, just in the first few matches, we've seen the maturation of him, and even the shortening of the sideburns, kind of showing, you know what, I'm here to be serious, I'm here to play volleyball, and it's time to focus. And that's what Charlie Wade has been talking to these guys about. And that time, a good swing, getting it inside the block by Jay Petty.
Jay Petty's basically their go-to guy. 13 kills against UCLA last night. Squeezes it in the hole block there.
And 4 kills already.
But he had 9 errors last night. Tonight, playing much better, reducing his errors.
Float serve, Stephen Hunt. And that is blocked back on Hawaii's side. And that's another point for the Flyers. They are back within a couple, 13-11. And back to serve once again is Aaron Flick.
I think the Flyers must have stolen the signals that time, because they snuck inside. They knew that Hunt was getting that classic inside set that he likes.
There's Hunt, and that time just long, and no touch. Point for the Flyers. That makes me want to ask you a question. Does that go on a lot? Is there a lot of signal stealing in volleyball?
Not that much, but you know, sometimes they hear a number or they see a player sneak in, and it's sort of a trigger. That time I think Hunt gave away what he was going to hit a little bit too much.
3-point run for the Flyers. And Hawaii trying to put a stop to that right now. Quick set to West, and West finds himself a little seam.
I like that Biscaro's moving him around. West is not just getting in front, he's going behind once in a while. I think that's going to make him a more versatile attacker. There he goes behind, and I don't think Lewis was ready for that play. I know they didn't see it last night against Springfield when they scouted.
Nick West, you see the numbers on him. A couple of kills. Stephen Hunt. Back to serve for Hawaii. He's just been hammering his serves tonight. And speaking of hammer, right back, Jay Petty. And Petty now with 5 kills early here in set number 1.
And Fran really liked the way he played last year. Had a breakout year last year with swings like that. Led the MIVA actually in kills or points, one of the two, and made first team all MIVA.
Which is the Midwestern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association, if you were wondering. Marks. Blocked. Another opportunity. Back to Marks. Goes cross court, but just out. Point for the Flyers. And they have come back to tie this match, or the set, 14 all. 4 tie of this first set. Well, Hawaii was up by as many as 3 on a couple of different occasions here. And the Flyers have rallied back strong. Bulldog to serve it. Foot fault. Well, not often called, but it bit him that time. The Bulldog was bitten. We're going to take a timeout. 15-14, and set number 1, Hawaii up. Back at the Stan Sheriff Center, Hawaii up 1, 15-14 over the Lewis Flyers as we take a look at our Kaiser Permanente keys to the match, Chris.
Well, the Lures have got to get their offense flying. They got to get it off the ground because last night they hit 135 versus UCLA. They normally hit 270. They had 23 hitting errors. Not good. They've got to hit better than that to beat Hawaii. And for Hawaii, they got to prove that they can have back-to-back performances. Last weekend, boy, did they get smacked on the second night by UC San Diego. So here's their first chance to see if they learned anything about a back-to-back performance. And so far, I'd say they're passing the test. They're playing very well against the number 9 ranked team in the country.
Flyers hitting only 118, but Hawaii only hitting .045. But the Warriors up 1 as West hits it into the net. We're tied again, the 5th tie of this first set. Jay Petty, his younger brother Greg Petty, also on this team. There's that back row set to Hunt, and a net violation against the Flyers, so that's a point for Hawaii. 16-15, Warriors +1.
Matt Gallick, I think, got hung up in the cord. And Hunt scores again on that Bick attack.
And the lefty, the southpaw, Ian Carbonier, the opposite with the kill. 250 career kills coming into this match, so he gets his share of swings on every night. And you can see his numbers so far this season. Pretty much right on pace with his career numbers, averaging just better than 2 kills per game. Back to serve it is Matt Gallick. Nice diving effort by Castello to get the pass up. Lofi and Timmer with the block at the net. Back set again, and it puts it right past Timmer, and that's Carbonier again.
Bulldog loves to go to Carbonier on the backside, and Carbonier is good at converting. He's the lefty. He loves that back red. It's called a red set. Gets out there fast. Charlie Wade's seen enough.
Timeout, Hawaii. 3rd lead change of the game. And Lewis up 1, 17-16 in set number 1. A lot of people kind of dancing in the aisles and having a little bit of fun here on an Aloha Friday night as we check the series record brought to you by Aston Hotels and Resort. We mentioned that the Flyers have been there here on 5 separate occasions to take part in this tournament.
There you see the Hawaii winning the last time 4 years ago in straight sets. Remember, this Lewis team also won the national championship back in 2003. It was vacated, however, after it was discovered they had an illegal player playing on their team.
That was the year after Hawaii won its national championship, correct? And that, too, was taken away because of the use of Kostas Theoharidis. Biscaro plays it off the net, setting it up on the far side to Timmer, and blocked, and coming up big. A trio of blockers, and I believe it was number 18 that got the big hand on it, Aaron Flick. right in the middle of that mass.
This is a great example of how Timmer's got to learn how to hit high hands. And you get 3 blockers over there like that. The hitter's got to make wiser decisions to not hit that low one across the cable.
Those blockers go 6'6", 6'7", and 6'8", so that's quite a formidable wall to hit through. DJ Marks this time powers it through the hands of Aaron Flick. And a point to Hawaii. They're back within 1. 17 serving 18. JP Marks going back. And Taylor.
Good swing by Marks. He just powered it through the block. He's so strong. Here comes the blocking substitution. We've seen the last couple of nights. Taylor Averill, who can play anywhere, by the way. Mr. Versatility. He can set, he can middle block. He can play opposite. He can play outside. Now he's coming in as a blocking specialist for Johan Timmer.
Another transfer out of UC Irvine. They must be wondering, hey, wait a minute.
John Sprott does such a great job recruiting there. He's got a lot of guys.
Yeah, but a few good ones have wound up right here in Hawaii. Hunt. And that time into the tape, and it falls on the Hawaii side of the net. Point for the Lewis Flyers, and they lead it by 2, 19-17.
Hunt tends to get in there a little bit early. He loves the faster sets, so sometimes he just runs in early and then has to wait. Luckily, he's got a big jump, so he hangs in the air, but sometimes he doesn't make the best choices as far as where he's going to go.
They're going to call a double hit. And that's another point for Lewis.
Good timeout by Charlie Wade. He's going to slow down the Lewis Flyers.
The Flyers on a 5-1 run as we take a timeout. They lead it by 3 here in the first set. Charlie Wade talking to his team, as is Dan Friend, the 8th-year coach for the Lewis Flyers. And the Flyers, well, they were trailing early, but they have jumped out to a 20-17 advantage here in the first set. All the information you need to know about UH Athletics is right at your fingertips. You can go to hawaiiathletics.com for UH news, tickets, videos, and a host of other items. Also, visit our Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube sites to follow your favorite teams and get current fan promotions. That's hawaiiathletics.com. Well, Hawaii's going to need to string a couple of natural points to get back into this one. They need a little run of their own. Right now, the Flyers in the midst of a 5-1 run. And Carbonier back to serve it for Lewis. And Hawaii will take it. Service error, side out, point Hawaii back within 2.
Credit that point to Charlie Wade. Well called timeout.
Yeah.
Froze the server. Here comes
Brooks Sador.
Super Canadian, Brooks Sador.
Freshman outside hitter out of Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada. So a couple Canadians in there for Hawaii, along with Stephen Hunt, who comes from Ontario, Toronto, Ontario.
And as we said last night, they got the big 6'8" player Mars coming from Canada as well next fall.
Good serve off the net. Nice job by Torres David, and a huge hit and a big kill for the Flyers, who now go up 21-18.
This is like Stephen Hunt sneaking on the inside, and Taylor Averill just could not get there in time. Dan Friend told me about Jeff Powell before the game. He's 6'4" freshman out of Claremont, California. Says he's dynamic. Look how happy he is there. He's got like a 40-inch vertical. He's exciting. He loves to watch him. That's why he got a starting nod tonight. You know, to give him a little more time to play on the road.
And now Greg Petty, we've talked about his older brother, and he serves it long. Point Hawaii. It'll be 19 serving 21. Hawaii needs to roll off a couple of natural points to get back into this first set. And Johan Timmer will come back in, and Taylor Averill will go back toward the Hawaii bench. So Timmer in, he will serve it for Hawaii. And a big deep breath for the freshman out of Auckland, New Zealand. Timmer with a good serve. And then off the block, and a good swing once again by Jay Petty, who now has 6 kills for the Flyers here in the first set. They lead at 22-19.
But Petty's lighting it up, and Timmer put on a good serve there. I mean, he really hit it hard after being on the bench for a few points as Averill took his place. Timmer comes in a little bit cold and just ripped that serve. And Lewis just made a better play at the net.
Nick West with the swing. And an opportunity once again for Hawaii as it comes back. West again. And that's, I think, the second or third time that West really didn't get a good piece of the ball. But again, sometimes better to be lucky than good.
Okay, there's a name for that shot. It's called the paintbrush. He just sort of brushes at it. He actually got backspin on the ball. Just volleyball, you're supposed to get top spin. But West, oh, he likes to be different.
Hawaii again, they need a couple natural points. Hunt. He's been serving strong all night long, but swinging strong for the Flyers has been Jay Petty, and that is now kill number 7. Point Lewis, and they're 2 points away from stealing this first set.
Here's a guy who's averaging 3 kills a set, all of a sudden doubling it here against Hawaii in the first set.
Well, last week when UC San Diego beat Hawaii in 3, they had 2 players that hit 600.
Career.
They had career nights.
Career nights.
I mean, all world, out of this universe type of nights. And let's hope that Hawaii just doesn't continue to bring the best out of their opponents. But, you know, you come into this arena and, you know, some teams maybe are in awe and others just get jacked up.
Petty's got 7 kills, no errors. He's hitting .875. He has no hitting errors at all so far. He had 9 last night against UCLA.
And a terrific job by Nick Castello to keep that one alive for Hawaii. They're going to get another chance. Biscaro and then Hunt just kind of fingertips it over the net, and then there's the swing again, and once again it is Petty.
Hawaii had their chances to score. Castello makes a nice pancake dig up there. Biscaro puts up a pretty good set. I thought this ball was going to drop to the ground, but Powell made a terrific diving save there. Hawaii gets a free ball here now. They should convert about 90% of the time, and they did not then.
And Bolton hits that one out. And so point Warriors. Well,
now Hawaii's going to play perfectly.
Pretty easy math right now. Hawaii needs 3 natural points to get back into this one and extend the match or extend the set. And Troy Crutchfield, who's a defensive and serving specialist. And for Hawaii, pretty obvious what his chore is. Put it in play. He does. And then a big swing by the lefty. Ian Carbonet and Lewis, 25-21. They take the first set, so the teams will switch sides at Hawaii. Time to get back up on the horse and ride the Flyers. They're flying high. We'll be back with more from the Stan Sheriff Center.